Nolan King here for MMA Junkie, and I'm being joined by UFC middleweight contender Jack Hermansson. Jack, how's it going, man? How are you holding up during this quarantine?
I'm doing great, man. You're kind of getting used to it, right? In the start, it was a little bit different, but now I'm getting into my new routines, and things are working out pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. And what do those new routines look like? What does a normal day look like for you? Are you obviously getting in training here and there, but when you wake up in the morning, what goes on after that?
It's the same routine as I always have, training at the same times and with kind of the same people, but we can't meet too many people, so I have two, three guys that I meet and train with, and yeah, we're training at a not at their gym, but we have a location where we put out some mats and try to do some martial arts work in the morning, and then I have my PT or some of my other coaches for my second session of the day. So it's basically just train, eat, sleep, and recover as usual.
Yeah, and let's go chronologically here. Let's take you back a little bit, obviously, to the cancellation. You were supposed to fight Chris Weidman in the main event of the Oklahoma City card, and that obviously didn't happen due to everything going on in the world. So I guess, how disappointed were you that you weren't able to get that fight or weren't able to take that fight on that date? And, how are you feeling about it now?
As soon as the COVID-19 situation came about, I knew that it was uncertain if that fight was going to happen. So, I tried to stay focused and motivated, but I wasn't shocked when that fight got canceled. So it was more expected, actually. So, right now I'm just thinking that hopefully we can make it happen at another date.
Yeah, and talking about that, I saw the Athletic had posted something online saying that the big problem for you right now is your travel issues. Is that really what's going on here? It's a travel issue more than anything.
Yeah, I think so, because the UFC are starting to prepare for new events and have new events coming up. So right now, I think that's the only barrier is the travel issues.
And when you say travel issues, is it more that you can't get here, or they won't let you out there?
No, it's more that I can't get over to the States. So if they want me to fight at this moment, I believe it will have to be outside of the States, and I don't think they have that ready yet. But hopefully we will be able to go into the States pretty soon. So we'll see.
And you're one of the guys that could really benefit from the Fight Island if it does come about. You're a headlining name, so I'm assuming when the UFC gets their island set up, you're going to throw your name in the hat to be one of the first guys to fight on a big card there.
Definitely, I would love to be on the Fight Island card. Not just because I want to fight right now, but also because it's probably going to be a historic event and a new thing that everybody is going to tune into and want to see. So I would love a shot on that card.
Yeah, for sure, man. It will be historic, and like you said, there's a lot of uncertainty going on. I'm sure the UFC is looking at a ton of different matchups right now. But in a perfect world, if Chris Weidman is still available, is that the fight that you want? Is there somebody else out there? Any other names you're looking at, or kind of in your ideal scenario, who would you be stepping in the cage with on Fight Island?
I've always been looking for the biggest name, the biggest fights, and always trying to get those. There was a time when we were talking about me and Darren Till fight, for example. Me and Gastelum has been in talks, and of course Chris Weidman. So I'm looking for the biggest name. So the guy that has the highest ranking is the guy that I want to fight. But you can't always pick and choose in this business. So yeah, I'll take those three guys. I think they are pretty good matchups for me.
Regardless of who they put in front of you next, do you feel like the adjustments that you've had to make with the situation that's going on right now, your training adjustments, do you feel like you're still able to put on a very solid camp despite all of the issues and all the quarantining and everything else going on?
I think so. People have been asking me my whole career, how is it, training out of Norway and not the huge gym in America and so on. So I'm used to dealing with getting help from fewer people. So I feel like I only need my one coach to prepare for a fight. Basically, of course, there is some advantages, but by having all the guys around. But as long as I have my coach, I know that I can prepare properly for a fight.
And would you need a little bit of an extended window here, or do you feel like if the UFC called you and said, "Hey, in a couple of weeks we're ready to go," or right at the beginning of June when Fight Island's expected to go, you think that timetable fits what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I've been staying in shape, so I'm ready at any time, basically. I would love if there is a long travel, I would like a week to get rid of the jet lag. But anyway, I'm ready for a fight. So if it was tomorrow, I would do it anyway. So.
Yeah, and I feel like you're one of a guy that's in maybe a little bit of a tougher situation than some of the other headliners, in that a lot of these guys have the opportunity to get rebooked, and like you said, we have to wait till the island comes. So mentally, how have you coped with that situation? I'm assuming you're kind of antsy to get back in there, but how have you calmed yourself down and stayed focused throughout this?
It's weird, you just have to deal with it because there is no other option. So. I just try to have a relaxed relationship for the situation and stay open-minded and ready for anything. I just feel like in a situation like this, everything can happen. It can be a fight tomorrow, or it can take a couple of months. So I'm ready for any of that. So I just try to focus on training, trying to get better, trying to stay in shape. So that's my focus right now, and I don't try to think too much of the circumstances.
For sure. And saying that, again, let's use an ideal mindset here, and things do get back to normal and you're able to fight. What kind of goals are you setting for yourself this year? I mean, around the time of your last fight, a lot of people were thinking if you beat Jared that you would have been the one in line for the next title shot. So do you feel like with a win or two here, you're right back in the title picture, in that conversation to get the title shot?
I really think so. If I beat if it will be Chris Weidman or whoever, I'm gonna try to beat him in a great fashion, and hopefully they will give me another fight so I can climb up that ranking again, get to the title shot, and follow. Get everything going in the right direction.
For sure, man. Well, whatever that is, whenever it is that you step back in the cage, I'm looking forward to it, and I really appreciate the time, man. Best of luck whenever that is, and we'll be talking. Okay.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me. Take care.